The wind howls across the Scottish Highlands. Mist swirls around ancient standing stones. A single heartbeat echoes. Slow, heavy, uncertain. Then, Claire's voice breaks through the silence. What if the answers I've been searching for have been closer than I ever knew? The screen flashes. Fragments of her life. Moments of love and loss. Jamie's face in the firelight. Brianna's tears. The crackling blue energy of time itself. A shadow appears in the mist. A woman's figure, faint but familiar. Claire stumbles forward, whispering into the wind, "Mom?" The music swells. The camera cuts to black. Then the narrator's voice, low and calm. Season 8 of Outlander begins not with war, not with destiny, but with a discovery that will change everything. This is where the past meets the impossible, where the truth that has been buried for centuries finally begins to rise. And for Claire Fraser, finding her mother might mean losing herself once again. Outlander. Season 8. The search for her mother begins. The screen fades in on the gray morning sky over Fraser's Ridge. The air feels heavy, charged with the kind of silence that warns of something extraordinary. Claire stands outside the cabin, clutching an old leather-bound journal. Its pages yellowed, its words written in a hand she does not recognize. The voiceover begins softly. Since the war ended, peace has been a stranger, but for Claire, time itself has always held its secrets close. We see flashes, her hands tracing faded ink, her eyes narrowing as she reads a name that sends a shiver down her spine. The camera lingers on a single word circled in the margin. Eleanor Beauchamp. Claire whispers, "My mother's name." Jamie walks into frame, his expression weary but curious. "What is it, Sassenach?" he asks gently. Claire's voice trembles as she answers, "These notes, they're medical, but older than they should be, written in the same style I use, as if someone else knew what I would become." The wind rises, pages flutter, the tone turns eerie. Cut to shots of strange objects. A silver pendant shaped like a spiral, a torn page showing sketches of herbs and anatomical drawings that look far too advanced for their time. Claire turns to Jamie, eyes wide. "She was a healer. Like me." Jamie frowns. "You think your mother came through the stones?" Claire's silence says everything. The music swells as the camera pans to the stones, glowing faintly under the morning sun. The narrator's voice deepens. She thought she had seen all that time could take. But fate still had one secret left. Thunder rolls. The mist thickens again. Claire's face fades into the fog as her voice echoes one final time. If she crossed time, then she might still be out there. The scene fades to black with the whisper of a heartbeat. Slow, steady, uncertain. Lightning flashes across the ridge. The sky feels restless, as if time itself is holding its breath. Inside the cabin, Claire sits by the fireplace, the old journal open before her. The candlelight trembles on the pages, revealing words written in a hand too familiar, precise, calm, and medical. But the ink is old, far older than it should be. She flips through page after page, finding sketches of herbs, notes on fevers, cures, and strange markings. A spiral, a crescent, and the outline of the very standing stones she once touched. Her pulse quickens. The narrator's voice fills the silence. Some secrets are not meant to be found, but fate has never been kind enough to let Claire rest. Claire leans closer to the firelight, her eyes catching a sentence written at the edge of a brittle page. "If the stones open again, tell her I made it through." She freezes. The room feels colder. The flickering light dances across her face as she whispers, "Tell her I made it through." Jamie enters, his voice low, wary. "You've been reading that for hours, Sassenach. What is it you're looking for?" Claire turns the book toward him, her finger trembling over the line. "Someone crossed before me. Someone who knew me. My mother's name, Eleanor Beauchamp. It's in here. And these words, Jamie, they sound like mine." Jamie's eyes narrow. "You're saying your own mother? She traveled through time?" Claire's expression is a storm of disbelief and wonder. It's impossible, but everything that's happened to me was once impossible. The music rises, soft but full of tension. Outside wind rushes through the trees, carrying faint whispers, voices from another time. The camera pans to the journal once more. On the final page, drawn in delicate lines, is a locket. Claire reaches for her own neck instinctively. The same locket glints in the firelight. Her breath catches. She wore this before I was born. Jamie's hand finds hers, steady but unsure. If she's truly out there, Claire, you ken what it means. You'll have to go through the stones again. Claire's eyes fill with determination and fear. Then that's where I'll go. If she found her way through time, I'll find her. The narrator's voice deepens, echoing as the screen fades to black. To uncover the truth, Claire must face the past once more. But the path to her mother's world may not lead her home again. The final sound, the faint hum of the stones, awakening. The night has fallen heavy over Fraser's ridge. The fire in the hearth burns low, its embers pulsing like a living heartbeat. Claire sits alone at her desk, the old journal beside her, its scent of dust and time filling the air. She closes her eyes, exhaustion pulling at her. But the world does not rest for her. The moment her lids fall shut, it begins again. A sound, a whisper, the rustle of wind, but shaped like words. Claire opens her eyes, and suddenly the world has changed. She's no longer in the cabin. The walls have vanished, replaced by a field bathed in silver moonlight. The standing stones rise before her, silent, watching, alive. The narrator's voice slips in, steady and haunting. Time doesn't break. It echoes, and every echo carries a name. The stones hum faintly. Claire takes a step closer. Her breath clouds in the cold air as she hears it again. Her own name spoken softly. But it isn't Jamie. It's a woman's voice, gentle, familiar in a way that hurts. Claire, she turns sharply. For a fleeting second, she sees her. A woman in an old green cloak, hair pinned the same way Claire's mother once wore it. The woman's eyes are kind but sad, filled with knowledge and sorrow. Before Claire can move, lightning splits the sky and the vision shatters. Claire wakes with a gasp, her heart racing. The journal has fallen open beside her, revealing a fresh set of markings that were not there before. Ink that glistens wet under the candlelight. Jamie rushes in, startled. "Claire, are ye all right?" She looks up slowly, dazed but certain. "I saw her, Jamie. My mother. Not in memory. Not in dream. The stones showed me." Jamie stares at the open page, the new words forming in delicate script. "Find me where it all began." The room trembles as thunder rolls again, and Claire grips the book tightly. She's calling me back to the stones. The narrator's voice returns, deeper now, the weight of fate behind every word. Between dream and reality, between life and legend, Claire stands at the edge of both. The past is calling her name. The music rises, low, mournful strings that build to a powerful crescendo. The screen fades to black with a final image. The standing stones glowing under a blood-red sky, and a single whisper echoing in the dark. "Come home, Claire." The dawn comes slowly, bleeding gold across the highlands. The mist rolls low through the trees, and the world feels fragile, quiet, as if it knows a choice is about to be made. Inside the cabin, Jamie stands by the window, watching Claire pack a small satchel. The silence between them is heavy. It's the kind of silence that carries more truth than words ever could. The narrator's voice begins, low and steady. Love can bind hearts across centuries, but every bond must face its breaking point. Jamie finally speaks, his voice rough, touched by the weight of years. "You can't keep chasing ghosts, Sassenach. Every time you touch those stones, I fear it'll be the last I see of ye." Claire doesn't look up. Her hands are steady, but her voice trembles. "It's not ghosts I'm chasing, Jamie, it's blood. My mother's blood." Jamie takes a slow step toward her. "And what if she's gone? What if what ye saw was naught but a dream? Would ye trade our world for a whisper?" Claire turns then, and the fire in her eyes is unshaken. "If there's even a chance she's alive, I have to try. You know what it's like to lose family, Jamie. To live with questions that never stop haunting you. Jamie looks away, his jaw tightening. He moves toward the hearth, staring into the flames as if they might give him courage. I ken it well," he mutters, "but I also ken what it means to lose you." For a long moment, neither speaks. The wind rattles the window. The fire pops softly. The ache between them fills the air. Claire walks to him, her hand brushing his arm. "Every time I've gone through those stones, I've come back to you. But if I don't go now, I'll never know who she truly was, or why she left me." Jamie closes his eyes. "And if he didn't come back this time?" Claire's voice breaks. "Then you'll know I found her." The camera lingers on Jamie's face, his eyes wet, his expression torn between love and fear. He pulls her into his arms, holding her as though he could keep time itself from touching her. The narrator's voice rises again, soft but edged with sorrow. He's watched her vanish through centuries, held her across time's cruel divide. But this time, the cost may be too high. Jamie whispers into her hair. "You once told me love is the most powerful force there is. I believe you still, but love shouldn't ask for sacrifice so dear." Claire steps back, her face lit by firelight and determination. "Sometimes love does, Jamie. Sometimes that's the only way we find the truth." A single tear. As the camera pans out, the fire dims, leaving only the glow of morning on their faces. The music swells, a blend of sorrow and hope. The narrator whispers the final line of the scene. "In the battle between destiny and devotion, even love must surrender to time, fade to black." The hum of the stones begins once more. The rain falls hard that night, drumming against the roof like the heartbeat of the earth. The air feels alive, thick with the scent of heather and thunder. The stones stand tall on the distant hill, their edges glistening under flashes of lightning. Claire walks toward them, her cloak soaked, her satchel clutched tight. Every step echoes with memory, with fear, with purpose. The narrator's voice enters, steady and magnetic. "Some journeys are not measured in miles, but in centuries." Claire pauses halfway up the hill, her breath trembling in the cold air. She turns for one last look. Down below, Jamie stands at the edge of the clearing. The rain runs down his face, but his eyes never leave her. The distance between them feels endless. Time itself seems to stretch out, holding them apart even before she's gone. Claire's voice breaks softly. "Jamie, I'll find her. I promise." Jamie nods once, his voice rough, fighting the storm. "And I'll wait for you, Sassenach, even if it takes another lifetime." The thunder cracks. The stones begin to hum. A low, haunting vibration that seems to rise from the ground and into her bones. Claire steps closer, the air shimmering around her fingertips. She takes the locket from her neck, her mother's locket, and presses it to the central stone. The sound grows louder, deeper, alive. The screen flickers, flashes of light, fragments of memory. A young girl laughing in a sunlit garden, a woman's voice whispering lullabies, the scent of lavender and loss. Claire's tears mix with the rain. The narrator continues, "She's crossed time before, for love, for family, for survival. But this time, she travels not to change the past. She travels to find the truth." The light around the stones grows blinding. The wind screams. Claire reaches out, her hand trembling, and whispers into the storm, "If you're there, guide me." A shockwave bursts outward as she touches the stone. The sound distorts, reality bends. The world spins into color and shadow. Flashes of fire, war, laughter, pain. The timeline fractures like glass. For a heartbeat, silence. Then, Claire gasps and collapses into a new world. The camera pans up to reveal it. A field of unfamiliar flowers, the sky tinted gold, the distant sound of a woman's voice singing a melody long forgotten. Claire lifts her head, dazed but alive. The locket still glows faintly in her hand. She looks around, whispering, "Where am I?" The narrator's tone deepens, carrying the weight of destiny. She has crossed the edge of time once more. But this is no longer the past she knew. This is a place where history bends, and fate itself has been waiting. The scene ends with a slow zoom on Claire's face. Wide-eyed, a mix of wonder and terror, as the faint outline of a figure appears in the distance. The music fades into a haunting lullaby, carried by the wind. Outlander. The journey begins again. The wind is calm now. The chaos of time has stilled. Claire stands in a valley she does not recognize, where the trees glow faintly in the soft amber light, and the air hums with a strange warmth. The ground beneath her feels alive, pulsing gently like the rhythm of a heart. She looks around, her breath unsteady. The silence here is not empty. It's watching her. The narrator's voice enters, slow and deliberate. She has traveled through centuries, through love and loss, but some truths wait in the quiet. Claire takes a few cautious steps forward, her boots sinking slightly into the soft grass. In the distance, she sees it. A small cottage by a stream, its chimney puffing smoke into the golden sky. Her pulse quickens. Somehow it feels familiar. She moves closer, every step echoing in her chest. The door is slightly open, creaking softly in the wind. Inside, the air smells of herbs, lavender, rosemary, and something older, something that feels like home. A single candle burns on the table. Beside it lies an open journal. The handwriting. It's hers. Her voice trembles. How can this be? The camera pans slowly across the room. A medical kit, perfectly organized. A silver locket resting beside a faded photograph of a young woman holding a baby. Claire reaches for it. Her fingers shake. The woman in the picture is unmistakable. It's her mother. Tears well in Claire's eyes. Her voice cracks as she whispers, "Mom!" A floorboard creaks behind her. She turns sharply. A figure steps from the shadows, wrapped in a simple shawl, hair streaked with silver, eyes filled with a pain that time itself could not erase. The world slows. The two women stare at each other, mirrors across centuries. The older woman's voice is soft but steady. "You found me." Claire's tears fall freely now. "It's not possible. How are you here?" Her mother smiles faintly. "The same way you are, my love. The stones chose me, long before they chose you." The narrator's voice cuts through the moment, hushed and reverent. Time does not take. It remembers, and sometimes it gives back what it once stole. Claire steps forward, her hand trembling as it reaches out. For a moment, the two fingertips meet, and light bursts from the touch, golden and pure, filling the room like a sunrise. Her mother whispers, "You were never lost, Claire. You were finding your way back to me." The music swells, a haunting mix of violins and whispers. The screen flickers between past and present. Flashes of little Claire as a child, her mother humming softly, the stones glowing in the background. Then, as the light fades, Claire's voice whispers, "I thought I'd never see you again." Her mother smiles, tears glistening. "You never stopped looking, and that's what brought you here." The camera pans up. The light spills through the windows, the sound of the stream outside blending with the rising hum of the stones. The image fades slowly to white, leaving only their silhouettes. Mother and daughter, reunited beyond time. The narrator delivers the final line, soft as a breath. Across lifetimes and legends, love always finds its way home. The screen fades from white to dusk. The valley is gone, the light, the stream, even the air of that other world, all fade into the deep amber of twilight. Claire stands once again among the ancient stones, her face streaked with tears and starlight. The wind hums low and mournful, carrying her mother's last words through the air like a prayer. Love always finds its way home. The narrator's voice begins, quiet but powerful, resonant with finality. She went beyond time, beyond reason, beyond the limits of fate itself, and found the truth that had waited for her across generations. Claire kneels at the base of the largest stone, her hand pressing to its cold surface. The world around her feels both empty and infinite. The music swells, slow and orchestral, building towards something vast, not just an ending, but a beginning. Her voice breaks the silence, soft but certain. "I found her. Jamie, I found where I come from. From the mist, Jamie's silhouette appears, running toward her. His voice carries through the wind. Sassenach! And for a fleeting instant, time bends again. The stones shimmer, golden light spilling between them. He reaches her, pulls her into his arms, holding her as though to anchor her in the present. The narrator continues. In a world divided by centuries, love remains the bridge that defies time itself. The camera pans upward. The storm clouds part, revealing the first stars of the night. The light from the stones pulses one last time, reflecting in Claire's eyes. Her hand finds Jamie's and the two turn toward the horizon. The future is uncertain, but together, they are infinite. The music swells to its peak. Strings, drums, whispers of Gaelic lyrics carried on the wind. The screen fades slowly to black. Then, bold, shimmering text appears on screen. Outlander. Season 8. The final journey begins. Quick cuts flash across the screen. Firelight, battlefields, the crying of a newborn, the shimmer of time between fingertips, Claire's mother's face fading into light, Jamie's voice whispering, "I'll find ye, no matter the century." The narrator delivers the closing lines, each word echoing like prophecy. Love is not bound by time, fate does not forget, and every ending is only the beginning. The screen fades to black again, but this time, one last whisper breaks the silence. Claire's voice, soft and haunting. Time brought us apart. Love will bring us home. The music fades, replaced by the quiet sound of wind through the stones. On-screen text, coming soon. Outlander. Season 8. The Legacy of Love. The heartbeat returns, slow and steady, before the final fade.